fancies of snowy mountains, secret labs, and beer halls in order to find my kidnapped dog. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go back where it all began. The first level and a bonus challenge mission in the updated demo of Darkenstein 3D. Cause if you don't, I'll kick your ass and eat your pie.
All right, Rowye, welcome to episode 8 of Devspotter, man. It's great to have you on.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Now, I want to talk about Darkenstein 3D. For obvious reasons, that was my era growing up. So I have a biased opinion on why I love it so much, but I want to learn a little bit more about you because I understand you're more from the visual arts scene, heavily involved in music. I think I read you're part of 2 bands as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I have a couple of bands. One of them just died at the beginning of this year, so it's one band now. And I do my personal projects with music. I've been producing music for a while, and I've been playing since I was 15. That's 32 years now.
Yeah.
And then I've been working in visual arts for the last 10 or so years. The last few years I haven't done so much because of my game dev and also because of AI, sadly, because I was doing a lot of book covers and stuff, and AI has taken a lot of that market.
Yeah.
So that's also one of the reasons that I got a bit more into the game dev, because I saw, trying to see what's going on in the future as well and see where I situate myself.
That's what I was wanting to ask you is, how did you get into, developing games?
I was making maps 20 years ago when I was playing Wolfenstein and Enemy Territory and stuff like that. I was making maps. I made Quake 3 maps, and then I didn't quit, but my life just went different ways, and I just stopped gaming altogether. I went into different kind of games, and I stopped mapping. And I guess I never saw it as a feasible thing, which probably my bad. I should have probably continued. I would be in a whole different place now, but that's what at the moment I didn't see it as something I could actually do as a job. So I just went into different directions. And back in 2019 or 2020, it's when I started to think about this again a lot. I guess I just see the games I enjoy. I see how like, when you know something, you understand when you watch it done from somebody else, you understand how you can, I guess, investigate or inspect it and see how it's done. And when you see the structure of something, even though you haven't made it, I think that's a good enough understanding so that you can do something. I guess I got to the conclusion I could do it. And
Yeah.
then I also thought it was going to be a lot easier. And it's not. I thought, I'm like, nowadays it has to be like you have presets and you just play around. And it's not like that. You can do it like that, but you're going to end up with something very limited. And if you want to do something on your own, you just have to build it from the ground up. And I didn't know how to code.
Wow.
So I started doing a tutorial about how to make a Wolfenstein 3D like game. And that's when
And
it was 9.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Darkenstein 3D, you're a lover of Wolfenstein. Obviously, that was sort of, for me, I wouldn't say it's the pioneer, but it almost is sort of the pioneer of that maze-like sort of strategy first-person shooter.
Yeah. It's one of them. It's definitely the most known.
Yes.
There were other games at the time, but that's the most known. And also, I think the tech in the id games is very relevant for the industry and coding in general, and software development in general. I mean, Doom has some stuff in it that's been used for
Yeah.
many software engineers. I mean, that's not just a game. It's a master class in coding, and and squeezing the power of the machines at the time.
So talk to us about Darkenstein 3D. I've played the demo. I think literally straight after I finished playing, I sent you a DM on X, giving you the praise because I just thought it was awesome, and it just really brought me back to my childhood, growing up and playing, Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein. So talk me through the game for anyone listening here who maybe hasn't played the demo, not familiar with. I mean, dare I say, not familiar with Wolfenstein, but maybe not familiar with Darkenstein 3D.
All right. So Darkenstein 3D is a boomer shooter, you would say nowadays.
Yeah,
I usually say more retro shooter, but
yeah,
everyone understands the first term. And it's obviously based on Wolfenstein 3D, but it's also very much based on Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which I have back there. It's always with me. That's probably the most relevant game in my life as a gaming person. As that I started playing that and I got stuck in it, and then I got stuck in enemy territory, and those are the two games that inform Darkenstein 3D the most, and that's also one of the reasons why the game plays the way it plays. And the game is basically like it starts at Wolfenstein 3D and it evolves towards enemy territory as it goes. Like it goes through Wolfenstein, like to return to
yeah.
Castle Wolfenstein when you're inside the castle in bigger levels, more open, and then at the end it goes into enemy territory, like where you are in the field dome kind of map, like it's open, it's snowy, and there's desert maps. And so it's a game that starts a bit more old school and it progresses to a bit more 2000, early 2000s kind of style of gaming, which I think keeps the game interesting.
I love that
And
concept. Yeah, yeah,
like you said, it's also very Duke Nukem like in the sense that we have a very silly story, and silly in the good way, in a good way, and a character that doesn't shut up and he's always doing quips and one-liners, and we try to
I
make
love
it
that.
funny.
Yeah, added a bit of
That's
humor
good. I
to
mean,
it. Yeah,
I understand some people might not jive with that. There's been a couple of comments, but most people have liked it, so I'm very happy about that, because when you're making jokes, you never know. So
yeah,
it could
that's
go
right.
either way, and most people are enjoying it. So that's very nice. So it's basically a game where you play as a hobo,
Yep.
and you have a dog as a hobo, and the Nazis come and take your dog, and then you go on a rampage to kill all of them because they stole your dog. You have to get it back. And in the way, you get a rat pet, you get a pet rat, you get a friend that travels in time, and it's all
Now I want to
the
jump in quickly. Sorry to cut you off. I want to jump in here because I did see an update where he was throwing rats at
yes,
enemies, and I didn't see that in the demo. Or did I not play long enough?
it's definitely there. It's just maybe not signaled well enough. Like you have it in the second map of the demo. It's an item. Like you have grenades and mines and stuff. You
Yeah,
have a rat. You meet it at some point in the game and you talk to them. And because you're a hobo, you talk rat language, so you understand the rat. So you can throw him and he sticks it to the faces of people and they go, "Ah," and so it does a little damage, but mostly it's just to keep them busy. So you have a big enemy, you can throw it at him, kill the other enemies, and then kill this one. It stays there for like 8, 10 seconds.
a distraction.
Yeah, it's more like yeah, it does damage, but it's not huge damage weapon. It's more like just you throw it because it has auto aim, so you don't have to aim very well. You just throw it, it sticks to someone, and then you can kill the other guys and get back to him. Or for instance, there's guys that have shields, so you can throw the rat at them, and they get go ah, so you
Yeah.
can kill them. That kind of stuff.
And I want to ask, obviously, being a solo dev and being your first, I guess, commercial release, have you found the process of building a game? Because we talk about this a lot, and I talk a lot about this on Devspotter. Is building a game is one thing. When you're a solo dev, you have to be almost the jack of all trades, from marketing, building a community, strategy, and building in public and getting feedback from the community. Have you found that process, Roy?
I think it's difficult. I think, though, I must say I've had some help, and like as time passed, I have a little more help every time. But yeah, I mean, I feel for every indie dev out there because it's not easy, especially because most of us, at least me, I'm very like some people are going to be more code based. I'm a lot more art based.
Yeah,
Um, so marketing is definitely not my thing. It's not a thing I necessarily enjoy. It's not a thing I'm used to do. So that's hard. I mean, getting your game out is really hard. You're fighting constantly against the algorithms in these
Mm.
social media places where, like right now, I'm being censored all the time on Twitter,
I
and I
saw
don't
that.
know.
I noticed. Yes.
It is what it is. You can There's nothing you can do about it, unless change your game. You know, make the plot blue or whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this happens all the time though, with different things. Like the algorithm is the master right there, and that's not conducive for a lot of devs. You know, I totally feel for everyone because it's hard. It's a hard space to be in. But if you can get help, I recommend get a little bit of help. You know, especially if you're a solo. I've had Jake the voice part, which I want to shout out. Always do that because he's the one that the guy that voices the hobo,
Yes.
and he's also done all the voice acting, casting, and he records voices for trailers. He's always there for me, and it's huge
Mm.
because when you're alone, it's very easy to fall off, you know, and give up and want to give up or have the feeling that no one cares or you know all that kind of stuff is rampant when you're doing it on your own because it requires a lot of endurance. This has been 4 years, and
Well,
man, you
you got
have
to
no idea how
enjoy
many
it.
times I thought this was not worth it because you don't really know,
Yeah.
and no one's telling you it's worth it all the time. Some people have the luck that their projects, I guess, explode a little more for whatever reason. Some are just better. Some are just more, I guess, better for exposure. Like
Mm.
some projects are very good to share, some others are not so good to share. That doesn't mean that the game is bad. Sometimes you have a game that doesn't do a lot very well on Twitter, but the game ends up doing very well. That's not necessarily a 100% kind
Mm.
of gauge, I guess is. You know, so it's hard sometimes to know when to continue, when to not continue, when you're alone, when you're not. I don't know. All
I
this stuff is odd.
I totally get it, and yeah, it is a challenge. And if it's not a labor of love, then I can see why a lot of people would, stop development, and that extends not to just the gaming industry, extends to many different industries. But I want to ask about launch dates. When can we expect a launch?
Yeah, the game is coming soon. It's gonna be October the 12th. And yeah, after 4 years, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's
feel
weird,
pretty
and
surreal.
it's very exciting. It's very scary. It's very happy. It's everything at the same time. All the emotions mix up. Like everything finds each other. You know, every emotion finds each other at that day. And yeah, right now it's a sprint because, as you know, problems in games never end. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure it's gonna release, and people are gonna keep reporting stuff, and it's you know it's going to be a long time until the game is really in a good place, even though it looks like it's in a good place to me now. But
Yeah, you'll release,
um,
you'll launch, and then you'll continually work on it. It's a never ending life cycle of being a developer,
yeah,
isn't it? Can I
yeah,
ask? Are you just looking at uh, PC at the moment, or have you thought about console?
yes. Right now we're going to do the PC launch. It's also going to be done with a publisher that's Microprose,
Awesome.
which I've recently signed with them. I've started to work with them a little bit. So far, so good. Very nice. I have a QA team, which is also bringing a lot of issues, you know, which is very helpful because even though every time you find an issue that's rough, you go like, oh my god, but you rather know it before it comes out. So we're gonna have a month and a half to fix that, and that's gonna be awesome because I know of a lot of bugs and I have to work on them. I have a lot in my mind. I'm sorry if I'm a bit spacey. It's also early in the morning.
No, you're
Um,
fine.
yeah, my list of things is so big now because there's you have to do the soundtrack and the songs are looped in the game, so I have to remake part of the songs. You have to write articles. I have to write for Steam. I have to it's a lot more than just making the game. This is one
That's
thing
right.
that you don't realize when you're making the game. Everyone wants to just make the game. I want to just spend all day making the game. I don't really care for writing articles.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer, but this is stuff you have to do because if you don't, the 4 years you spend making the game are gonna go to waste. So
Well,
yeah, and a lot of that stuff you don't know until you're there. Right
that's
now,
right.
if and even if it wasn't for Microprose, some of those things I wouldn't be doing because I didn't know it was necessary. So I'm just launching the game on my own. I'm just launching the game. But it's
Yeah.
interesting to know to have a little bit of help. That's what I said. If you can get a little bit of help, if external, internal, publisher, non-publisher, but try to inform yourself as much as possible.
Well, Rowye, credit to you, man, and to other solo indie devs, because it is a challenge. And I love what you've done with Darkenstein 3D. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I encourage anyone who's watching this that hasn't yet played the demo to play the demo. And October 12th, was that the release date?
October 12th.
Awesome. Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. And we've obviously been chatting so much on social, so it's good to actually finally meet somewhat in person, man. And I'll be awaiting the launch. I can't wait.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Kick your ass and eat your pie.